to you today about engaging in effective conflict resolution strategies in the workplace. Thinking back to a time when you may have been faced with any type of conflict at work, maybe it was with a coworker or with a boss. What about with an angry customer who was just trying to help you? How'd that make you feel? What did you do as a result? Was it resolved? Did you lose your job because of acting out? Maybe you did nothing wrong. Maybe it was just that you were a witness to conflict. And who in here has ever been through this experience before? Okay, and it's a pretty common thing. So focusing on some important things to remember when dealing with these situations. For example, cause and effect of conflict, maintaining a positive attitude, techniques of acknowledgement and active listening, and lastly, introspection and support to bring about interpersonal conflict resolution. So many conflicts are caused by lack of communication and emotional instability. Knowing cause and effect can help save your company money, wasted time, loss of productivity, strained relationships, litigation, absenteeism, and even employee turnover. A leadership advisor to Fortune 500 CEOs and boards, author Mike Myatt, states in his 2012 article, 5 Keys of Dealing with Workplace Conflict, that the issues surrounding conflict resolution can be summed up by adhering to the following. Don't fear conflict, embrace it. It's your job. And 2 major causes of conflict can be avoided by clear, concise, accurate, appropriate communication of information, not letting emotions drive your decisions. So case in point, if you've ever witnessed an employee throw a fit and draw the regrettable line in the sand in the heat of the moment, then you have just witnessed that person giving in to emotions instead of just protecting their future. According to December 2008 publication, one of the biggest mistakes that people make when dealing with conflict is letting emotions take over, says Gary Siegel, author of The Mousetrap. And this article looks at different conflict resolution strategies that can be applied at work, specifically how to keep emotions in check while on the job, how to empathize with the customer or patient. Empathy can be the driving force of communication, especially in the medical field, and should be. Willing to step out of your own shoes and into someone's maybe not as comfortable shoes. Relate with a fearful patient by saying things like, I understand how you're feeling and everything is going to be okay. So think about that for just a moment, and what common grounds can you and another employee find to stand on in an uncompromising environment. Look at ways to prevent and to resolve these potential issues. Here are some points for effectively doing so. It's best to discuss these issues when maintaining a positive attitude before it escalates. Don't assume that the other person is just unwilling to work out a solution, says psychologist David Ballard, author of 2012 article in U.S. News and World Report called 10 Tips for Tackling the Toughest Workplace Conflicts. So keep an open mind and identify any negative thoughts. Be aware of emotions. Have confidence in your abilities, believing in yourself. Work on stress levels. Don't transfer your attitude from work to home. Identify these attitudes so you can develop ways to overcome them. So now that we've covered ways to maintain positive attitudes, some other key factors for conquering conflicts in the workplace are acknowledgement and active listening. So acknowledging the perspectives in a way that lets people know that you genuinely heard and understand them is no small accomplishment, says Wendy Corbart, conflict resolution consultant for third-party advisors in Mesa, Arizona. So 2 forms of showing this is verbal cues and nonverbal cues, like shaking your head to indicate that you're listening and eye contact. And then verbal cues, you feel treated unfairly, and tell them ways to resolve the issue. Lastly, introspection and support, very important in conflict resolution. So internalizing emotions of stress and anger and growing from it helps workers face new difficulties with more ease and effectiveness. Also consider different approaches and be open to other ideas, even if they're not your own. be more objective and less opinionated, give the other people their idea a shot before affronting it. So in summary, I have discussed cause and effect of conflict, positive attitude, techniques for acknowledgement, active listening, introspection, and support. You should now be better able to handle such adverse situations in the workplace, to resolve any problems. Diffusing and interpersonal conflict can take some patience and effort, but when done so effectively can create lasting relationships and eliminate our fretting over unresolved conflicts. So, do any of you have any questions? Okay, well then I guess that's it.
All right, woo!